Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. Really. This was a marketing message from General Foods in 1944. Okay? Obviously a successful one because we're still quoting it. But they just want to sell more Grape Nuts. Okay? And it's gone on to sell Frosted Flakes, Corn Flakes, whatever flaky, sugary, weedy thing in a box with a happy sunshine or some kind of animal on it they wanted to sell. They sold it to us with this message, supposedly promoting health, right? And yet really couldn't be farther from the truth, especially considering what we'd be eating, what they're marketing to us, these bars, these cereal bars, sugared up cereals, things that come in plastic wrappers that look like, I don't know, they're supposed to look healthy, right? They're supposed to look all whole grain. And yet, what we really have is we have thousands of people beginning to skip breakfast, who are following intermittent fasting, for instance, who are losing weight, lowering blood sugar, improving their insulin sensitivity, and improving their health in general by skipping breakfast. Actually skipping breakfast, condensing their meal, the times that they have the meal in the day. But of course we have these studies that come out in the press, get a lot of attention. There's one recent one that just came out in April promoting breakfast as important to prevent cardiovascular disease. But when you actually look a little closer, it was an observational study, which means there's no control group. This is not a tightly kind of watched group by any means. They asked them a few questions at the beginning of the study and then tracked them over like 16 and a half years to see if anyone got cardiovascular disease. And the only question they asked them was, do you eat breakfast? Not what time is your first meal of the day? What is it you eat for breakfast? What's your schedule like? What do you eat in general? What's your lifestyle like? No other. Do you eat breakfast? And there was no follow-up over that 16 years to see if that lifestyle had changed, if that choice had changed. It was, do you eat breakfast? Did they get cardiovascular disease? No questions about maybe, do they work late? Do they work in a restaurant and they don't get off till 2 and they come home and sleep until noon and then get up and eat? Well, of course, they don't eat breakfast. Or are they shift workers who maybe get off work at 9 a.m., go home, go right to bed? Shift work being a known, risk factor for a lot of metabolically hormonal issues, even a possible risk factor for cancer. So there were none of these other factors considered. The results at the end of 16 and a half years, 10.7% of the breakfast eaters had cardiovascular disease, some sort of cardiovascular issue. 12.2% of the non-breakfast eaters had some sort of cardiovascular risk. So a 1.5% difference in these two groups that were asked based on one question, do you eat breakfast? And that's considered a substantial enough difference to actually put it in the press and to tell people, look, breakfast helps prevent cardiovascular disease. 1.5% difference over 16 years, one factor, completely uncontrolled, just observed from a distance, basically. That's what we're subject to. That's the kind of messages that we've been getting over the last 40, 50 years from health authorities. Basic, poorly done studies, bad science, and look where it's gotten us. Okay, 70% overweight, 30% obese, diabetes still going up, following the obesity rate. It's not getting any better, but we're following their advice. So, maybe news to some of you. If you've heard my videos, it isn't. But if you have any questions about this, I'm happy to answer them. Put them in the comments below. But consider, my weight loss group, we introduce intermittent fasting, just a basic skipping breakfast. We start with 3 days the first week, and the people that like it, they move on and they continue to do it, and they're breaking through weight loss plateaus. They're feeling more energetic. They were eating breakfast just because they thought they were supposed to, even though they weren't really hungry. And they're finding they like this lifestyle better, and they're having more success with their weight loss efforts by just condensing their eating period into an 8 or 9 hour window each day, basically eating first meal around noon. They might have a mid-afternoon snack and then dinner. They're not under eating, they're eating to satiety, but they're compressing their eating window into a time that allows more fat burning from dinner until whenever they finish dinner until noon, or when they have their first meal of the day. The next day, 15, 16 hours later, allowing their body, taking insulin out of the way, blood sugar out of the way, allowing their body to burn more fat during that fasting period. Again, any questions about this, feel free to post it in the comments below. And if you'd like more info, I can direct you to my free weight loss group, Food Comes First. Talk to you later.